It is January 7th, 2010. My name is Chenault, and I work for Troll Lord Games.
Wham! He cleaves your skull right in half, splitting your brain. You're dead!
So now he's got to make it.
Smite zone.
We've come a long way since the year 2000.
Wait, you say the Cold War is because of aliens?
I told you it was gonna be weird.
You've never burned anyone in your life. I would like to roll to gaslight the fire.
You die! Die, die, die!
I summoned the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
But they wouldn't let him use the toilet in the police station or something.
Your repurposed
It
freighter
is
drifts
January.
through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, three strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that? I have the right tools for the job. Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in.
Troll Lord Games. Join the fray.
Are we live, Chuck?
See, now I'm trying to do it like Grace. That's how Grace does me. I just say, "Are we live, Chuck?" We'll follow on. And I saw it, Sparky, I think, bought me Dr. Pepper, so I'm having one. It is May 19th, 2026, Tuesday, I guess. And this is Ask Me Anything. I'm Steven Chenault. So any questions you have about whatever we do around here, throw them into the bullpen, and Chuck will read them to me, and I'll try to do a rambling answer. I did achieve a few things today that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Not only did we get Umbrian Flats out, and I've started on the second to the last of the expansion books, the Sari and Heath, but more importantly than that, I posted my first UFO commentary, my UFO post on the TLG blog. I'm going to try to do a couple a week, 2 or 3 a week. We'll see how it goes. Usually my desire, my follow through doesn't keep up with my desire, but we'll see. How is everybody doing today? Throw your questions out, whether they're UFO related or TLG related. What the Kickstarters we got going on, backer kit campaigns, all the other googly stuff that we're doing. Yeah, GB, I absolutely, I was just telling Dakota and Pete, my son, that the whole discussion around the UFOs is fascinating. Forget what you believe or what you want to believe or any of that. Just the historiography, the culture of it is fascinating as hell. Reading that over time, the Air Force is constantly shifting its commentary. So is the government. So is the CIA. So are people. Evidence crops up, and people are like, we need more evidence, and I don't believe this evidence. And then there's weird deaths. There's strange suicides. There's copyright issues. There's just the whole phenomena is kind of fraught with this. Nervous energy isn't quite the thing. Maybe nervous energy is what I'm looking for. So it's interesting. It's just fascinating reading. I don't know what rambling road I went down the other day. So Steve Arnold, you may know, you may not know, if you don't know anything about this stuff. But Steve Arnold is the gentleman who was hunting for a crashed, what was before the Air Force? It was the Army Air Corps. The Army Air Corps had lost a craft, 32 Marines killed, I believe, out by Mount Rainier in Washington. And a couple of years later, this guy, Steve Arnold, there's a reward for it. So he's out looking for the crash. And he sees these 9 horseshoe-shaped objects zipping through the atmosphere, and he describes it later as flying, as if they were saucers skipping on water. That starts the whole flying saucer thing, and then the flying saucer stuff begets all of this mess. But I guess Jason Bay, we were talking about Amazing Adventures and what's going to go on the cover for the Monstorio, the Codex Monstorum. And he mentioned that his favorite of all of the flying craft that I've seen are the horseshoe shaped. And I thought that sounds familiar. So I went back into Steve Arnold's stuff, and I thought, okay, wait a minute. What I've never actually done is read Steve Arnold's account of what he saw. I've read people's interpretations of the account. So I started looking for the actual account. I haven't yet found it. I did find that he published a 16-page book called The Flying Saucers or some such, and it's $4,500. I'm not going to get that. Tried to find a downloadable copy online just to see what he actually said and reported. But even that is is wrapped in mystery, because he sees these things, he's not too concerned about it. He thinks it's a national security threat. He lands in Yakima, I think, and just tells the guy that's in charge of the station, hey, I saw some weird shit up here. We need to alert the Air Force. He gets back to his airplane, goes on to Oregon where he lives. But by the time he lands in Oregon, the press is there. They're saying, you saw something in this, and then it all gets, taken out of context or whatever. So the whole movement from the beginning to today, and to last week's the War Department's release of 20-something videos is just very real emotional, because I feel like I was born on another planet. There you go, John. I haven't, as everyone who frequents this crazy stream of mine knows, I haven't quite got into the experience or part of the literature, the phenomenon, but I'm headed that way. Guaranteed, I'm headed that way, because it's all fascinating. And I want to believe. I can never do that. I want to believe. Nervous energy is not the correct term. What you describe as psychosis. So that's the fun. That's going to be my next little post is going to be about the Robertson panel, because the Robertson panel is in 1952, and this is after the Air Force, the Army Air Corps becomes the Air Force, and both of those institutions are at first like, okay, there's something here. There's definitely something here. We're going to shoot these damn things down. It might be the Soviet Union or some other player on the field that we're not aware of. And then they're like, okay, we can't shoot these things down. Stop. This is all garbage. Don't say anything about it. People keep seeing stuff. So the Robertson panel meets. It's run by the CIA, which the CIA and the government deny until 1959. So, but in 1972, at the Robertson panel, the CIA, they conclude that we don't know what this stuff is, but we need to change the culture around this so that people aren't seeing stuff and just to disenfranchise the culture, basically, which is read as, it's not a direct commandment. I've read the memos, but it's read as anyone who sees a flying saucer, ridicule them. That's the way the Air Force interprets it. So when you report one in, you're kind of treated as an idiot by both the Air Force and the press. And that's a culture that stays to this day. So that when you say aliens, you say UFOs, you say, and whether the whole thing is a government psyop or not, that could possibly be, but it's fascinating to me that Robertson panel sets the tone that every single one of us have fallen into, because every one of us, when we hear flying saucer, we immediately think goofball. So, very, very weird. There you go. He makes mash. What's going on in the chat? What am I building out of Dr. Pepper can? Yeah, Close Encounters. I need to watch that again. He's got something coming out soon, I think. What's convenient, Jeremy? He's got something coming out. Discovery? I don't know. Something that's supposed to be kind of a follow-up to Close Encounters. I remember seeing Close Encounters in the theater. I know, Disclosure Day, that's it. I don't remember much about it. Who did it? Is that, it's not Spielberg, is it? Is that Spielberg? I don't know. Whoever did it. It's not my fault I came across a thing that the government is tricking you into thinking I come. It's just we've all fallen into the very language. And I've got that Robertson report saved. I mean, I've got what the panel's recommendations from their memos, because it wasn't supposed to ever see the light of day, but someone at Project Blue Book allowed the memo to slip out to George McDonald, I think it was, who also later kills himself. The whole thing is the whole movement is just crazy. And not in a bad way. It's fascinating and interesting. Whether you believe it or not is a different conversation. But the actual phenomena, studying the phenomena, is very, very interesting. Jeremy, I agree. I don't remember being excited about Close Encounters. I remember it being about all this huge buildup, and then the last 2 minutes, right? You get to see some aliens, and then the movie's over. That's all I remember about it. But I was very young when it came out, so I don't know. Chuck, have we had any non-UFO questions pop up? I could yammer on about this shit all day.
I've got a few, not many, but yeah. We need to do we're going to have to have an upcoming late night UFO chat. That's what we're going to have to do. So.
Yes, we're going to decide that this week.
Excellent. All right, let's see. First question from Rick Montel. Let's see. I don't know. Question: is it true that the next PHP printing includes further OGL free spells such as changing sleep to snooze? Damn it, Tyler. Whatever, snooze. I cast snooze. That's just too funny. I swear to God, I'm going to have to pull that in one of your games. That'll be great. There we go.
Go ahead. What's next?
Oh, Yawin with Jack says, we have two questions that are in common. Death Angel Shadow and Yawin with Jack on YouTube both say, this is my first stream in a while. How's the new print shop coming? And Death Angels asks, how goes the building hunt?
So we actually put an offer in on a building in BB last week. The building looked great. It didn't look great, but it looked like it was going to hit all of our needs. But then when we did the inspection, it turned out to be not what we needed. So we're back to square one. I was disappointed. Dakota was extremely disappointed. He was so excited about this space because it had 2 offices, a huge print shop, warehouse, loading dock with a mailroom. I mean, it hit.
You even got me pulled into that bullshit. I was all thrilled, showing people, you know.
Yeah, it looked really, really good, but
You know, that
72 page
that
inspection.
that inspection report wasn't good at all. It was ugly.
Not
I
at
was
all.
like, oh shit.
I wish that I could have filmed Keith, I believe his name was, the inspector, as he was walking me through the building, because he was so nice. I mean, every single thing he found wrong, he would explain it in these nice terms, but he kept just kind of, somewhere's this kind of undertone of, this is not too bad, blah, blah, because you can fix this by doing this, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. You can do this, blah, 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 but it's going to cost you a lot. It was really cool. He was very cool about it.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy said he's never seen a report so long. That's saying a lot because he does a lot of project management on construction sites.
Yeah, 72 pages.
Good Lord. Y'all in the Jack says, I believe aliens are real mostly because I feel like I was born on another planet most of the time. He may not be wrong about that. This is all in giant matrix, man.
What is it? The Drake equation and the Fermi paradox and all that.
The Fermi paradox. I haven't heard of that in a long time.
Isn't it the Fermi? No, Freeman is from Dune. What is
right.
Fermi?
No, it's Fermi. I thought it was Fermi.
It's the Fermi paradox.
Yeah. The Freeman is different. That's completely different.
Wait, what's the guy from Star Trek Deep Space Nine that's got the...
That's Quark, right? Or whatever?
Yeah, what was he a
Ferengi. Jesus Christ. No. Fermi is correct, I promise you. But my God.
All right.
Ferengi. Jesus. Let's see.
I never watched Deep Space Nine, so I couldn't remember.
Question 533 over on YouTube asks, any plans to expand on more shadowy elf cultures like the Underdark or elven subraces in future Aihrde supplements? Maybe the Monster Treasures of Aihrde style books, possibly.
So funny you should say that. I just finished the Vorarlberg Basin, and it's gone on to editing. Now, in that, because I'm a huge fan of, I don't know if you guys even know what this is, but I don't know if it's still published or not. Probably is, but the ElfQuest comic books from way back in the 70s, 80s, whenever the hell that was. And the elves are all kind of small. Now, that kind of ties into the elves from whatever the hell. What's my favorite magazine? Jeremy?
Oh, that damn thing you keep dragging out all the time.
Yeah,
I haven't got my copies yet.
Warriors of the Shadow, because the elves are small. What is going on down here? So I like that concept of it. So in the Vorarlberg Basin, in the Vorarlberg Mountains, there is something called the Valley of the Moon, where the Fall of the River remains. And in that, I have placed small elves. So yes, so I don't know where in the schedule I've put it. The only thing left from the Player's Guide to Aihrde that hasn't been put in other books is the races section, the dwarves, the gnomes, the elves, as they are in Aihrde.
Oh, you've got the wild and the what's the other one?
Yeah.
So the wild one is not wild. I thought it would be wild, but they're like cowboys or something, really strange. They ride horses.
Yeah,
and then the other dudes, is it the Twilight elves that are forest elves? I think it is, right? That's right.
Yeah, but they live in the Twilight. If they're called the Twilight elves. But so I'm going to do a book of Aihrdian races at some point, and the core of which will come out of the Player's Guide to Aihrde. So it's mostly written, just needs cleaned up and whatnot, and then a few other stuff like some of this, like the ElfQuest elves, I'll put in.
Suggestion for you on that, if you get bored, when you do that, write a mini adventure, sort of highlighting the different races. Like have several different elves in the adventure. Cool. Maybe they go get some dark elves and there's some twilight elves, so they can see these different races in action. Right.
The irony of what's been going on in the culture of Dungeons and Dragons these past couple of years, because I believe, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, they've made drow, which were always evil, they've made drow kind of good and evil or whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's no real drow. Am I wrong? Is that wrong?
Well, no, I mean, in Forgotten Realms, it's a setting thing. In Forgotten Realms, there is a goddess called, now Loth, Jesus, the Spider Queen.
Yes.
And when they got cast out and ran underground, they turned to her, and that's how that all got started. So there are drow. I mean, you could say, if you want to, I mean, there are drow in Forgotten Realms that are not evil and live underground. There are drow that are not evil and live above ground.
So let's just say,
but in that world, drow are persecuted to the point that even if you go on the surface and say, I'm lawful good and I serve Corthane, and then they come up and they fucking cut you in a million pieces because you're a drow.
So, but I never played Forgotten Realms. I just
Right.
had the Dungeons and Dragons monster manual,
Sure.
and Drow were evil, right?
Right.
Yeah, Drow were just evil. There's evil elves. You got good elves. You got evil elves. That's the way I ran it as a kid.
But they're a subterranean race, though. Typically, that's why they're dark skinned.
Yes, sure, they're underground. Yeah, for sure. They were just always evil, and I don't care about that debate. Whatever Wizards of the Coast does, they can do whatever the hell they want. They own that IP.
Right.
I don't give a shit. But interestingly, I don't actually have the Twilight elves aren't Drow elves. They aren't. They're not really equivalent to the Drow elves because the Twilight elves. I mean, they're sort of. I wouldn't say they're evil. Maybe neutral evil. At best, and they're certainly not subterranean. They live in the forest. As they evolve in the winter dark, is what they actually do. So I never really equated the Twilight with the Drow, and there's no real Drow elves because elves come from the Allfather's one of his good thoughts. So there's no real role for Drow in Aihrde per se.
Well,
now
you got to think about it like this, Stephen. Okay, about as far as drow are concerned. So in AD&D, okay, if you want to go back that far or whatever, they were just evil elves that lived underground, right? For whatever reason. But the point of the matter is that, again, going back to kind of the way you do things different from other companies, I guess, or writers or whatever, is you don't let alignment decide the race, and you don't let race decide the alignment. And that's where we're talking about at here, right? In the land of Forgotten Realms, 99% of the time, if you're a drow, you're going to evil, and people are not going to be kind to you. They're not going to invite you in the home to have a dinner. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna, when Driz first came up on the surface, the first town he went to, they fucking hunted him through the swamps. They were going to murder his ass, all because of the color of his skin. He's a drow, right? They knew he was a drow, and drow are evil, right? But you don't particularly do that much in yours as far as alignment based on race or race based on.
No, everyone is pretty much just like people.
It's just whatever, right? And you just choose to be an asshole or not, right?
Sparky has a good question. Sparky asks, dwarves were corrupted. Why not elves? It's Steve. So that's a very specific corruption that Orundul does, and it's driven by Narhite. So the elves aren't actually on the battlefield at this point. The dwarves are, and the dwarves are mining gold and jewels and all that crap, and that stuff belongs to Orundul. And Orundul is one of the Val Ericune, one of the named Val Ericune. So he's ridiculously powerful. But Narhite convinces him that he can't hurt the dwarves because they're the chosen people of the Allfather. So what he does is he goes specifically, that God himself goes to each individual dwarf that he finds in the wilderness that he can find and corrupts them. Some he does, some he doesn't. Some don't succumb to it, but some do. And then you get your eldritch goblins out of that. So that is a very specific vendetta that a major god had against the dwarves because they were robbing him. When the elves show up when the Allfather's mind splinters, and they just show up, and they're of good thoughts to the Allfather. So some can be evil as time goes on, but as a race in general, they're not. And Twilight elves really are not, and they're not evil. Twilight elves are the elves that survived in that specific wood under the winter dark, and they evolved into this dark skin that can pass into the shadows in the night so that they don't get killed so easily.
Yeah, and
so that explains it.
So I was going to look up in here real quick under elf, and because I've looked at it a million times. Granted, I mean, hell, I work in the book, but can't always remember stuff. But I was going here to look under elf humanoids, elf dark. Corrupted by greed and avarice, these elves have abandoned the open spaces on the surface of the world in favor of the darkness of the underworld. There they live in solitude, trafficking little with those above. The breed has lived beneath the surface for so long that their features no longer resemble those of typical elves. Their skin is usually pasty white with pinkish eyes, or so black as to be invisible in the dark, usually with purple eyes. Dark elves are obsessed with magic and spend much of their time exploring the boundaries of wizardry. They are altogether chaotic and evil, and have utter disdain for all other things, living or dead. So in this particular case, treating this not as a race, but as a creature, they're just evil creatures, right, that live underground, right?
Right.
And you don't give any other reason, like there's, let me see, if you don't even have an entry in here, well, you wouldn't. This is the regular M&T. If this had been in the Aihrde book, there would be an entry about Aihrde in here as well, but there's not, right?
No, because it all got moved to the Player's Guide to Aihrde, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Like the Mist Elves is covered in the Player's Guide to Aihrde. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that would be fantastic to update the actual M&T for it. That's what we need to do. 100%.
Yeah, either that or give them its own expansion book. Though, as Sparky pointed out to me, I cut somehow. I have no idea how this got cut.
I
About
saw that.
8 or 12 dragons from minor dragons, the lesser dragons from the MT of Age.
Yeah, I don't know how we didn't make how those lesser dragons didn't make it in there. That is weird.
I got pictures. They got art for them. It's all done.
I think Steph did all the stat blocks for him too. She did every stat block in the. That is strange.
No idea how that shit happened. That's weird.
It is. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. Questrom said, I simply love the Drow conceptually, would love to see them in CNC. So they're in there, in their M&T. You certainly can set them up however you want. And perhaps maybe they end up worse with Narhide or somebody. I don't know. You know, you can do whatever setting you want.
Well, the thing about Aihrde is you can have any elf can be evil. They don't have to be.
That's 100%. The only thing that's not evil in Aihrde is dwarves. No way, moving on. I'm just joking. But let's see. Vindici asks, where does the astral plane fit into the Airdian cosmology?
That really kind of equates to the void, would be the astral plane.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the ethereal plane is also sort of equated to the void. I don't think that's accurate. I think the ethereal plane is specifically something else, but the astral plane would be the void. If I'm remembering my astral plane stuff correctly.
Right.
But the astral plane is the void. I think the ethereal plane is something else.
Right.
The dimensional matrix, maybe that's it. I have to.
You look it up.
No, the ethereal plane is the net of Aihrde, which is this kind of her attempts to lighten the universe, and she casts this net out, and that is this kind of plane, the moon, the goddess of the moon, created. So the net of Aihrde is the ethereal plane, and the void would be the astral plane.
Oh, okay. There you go. Michael Ernest. Hi, guys. I've been following for a few months. Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Welcome in. Let's see. I've got one more question here. Let's see. This is from Wolf Alone. What race is... I'm going to read it, but I didn't see it. I just, whenever someone asks a question, I grab it. Usually they're all right, but I should have known. All right. What races came from the Allfather's farts? Okay. There you go. There you go.
I don't think the Allfather had kind of a rectum. I don't think
all right, now that's a bad turn. We're turning away from this road. We're not going down that street. Wolf, you're in trouble. All right, where's the next question? Thank God Savage has got a question. We'll make it for that bullshit. Question, did Steve see the Dr. Pepper sausages? I posted on the Discord. Oh, God.
I just scrolled back. I did not, actually. I try to avoid most of that anyways.
Ken Langley says Gamma Decay, Gamma Frontiers, Gamma everything. Yeah, Gamma. I swear.
Gamma. Hey, I'm working on it. And interestingly enough, I found this new music. It's very calming. It's some AI generated like a luxury liner that goes into space. Let's see if I actually post.
I know it's one of those you've showed me, like the new dystopian.
Yeah. But the music is pretty relaxing, and so I'm watching this thing as I was working on whatever the hell I was working on today. Where is this? This one? I don't think that's
Sparky. I ran them with Drow. I made Loth a minor deity.
Let's go so fast. Anyway, so I was watching this thing, and I thought this would make a badass, amazing adventure.
Let's see here.
Because if you watch that, it's like 2 hours long, so you're not gonna see all of it. But anyways, it's like a luxury line. There's nobody on it, and I was watching this thing, just trying to get inspired or whatever.
Wow, that's amazing, dude.
This would be cool if you woke up from some cryogenic, whatever sleep. You come out, there's no one on the ship. People are dead, but there's some kind of monster on the ship.
It's a generation ship, and you're the only one alive. It's just traveling through space all alone. And you know what? Awesome. No one can hear you scream in space. I've heard that.
Right. That'd be awesome, though. That's the way to spend your immortality, is to get on a ship like this and just sail through space forever.
Yep.
You get to reread the same book you love over and over again.
Maybe you can actually just end up stopping at different places. Wait a minute. And then you meet this guy called Galactus. He puts you in a yoke.
Wait, what?
He reforms you into like a silver-looking dude and forces you to go out and devour planets with him. Oh, wait. That's
right. I think that's a comic book.
Is it really? Well, just an idea I had. I don't know. Just don't know.
I don't know why I've been wanting to write so much amazing adventures content lately.
You have been.
but it's been on my.
I want to see you take your turn at a superhero. Is what I want to see.
You know, it's interesting because I read superhero comic books in the 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, huge Green Lantern fan, Green Arrow, Black Canary, you know, Aquaman. Those are my digs or whatever. But I just don't. I've never played a superhero game. It doesn't appeal to me, and I think it's because at the end of the day, I like games where death is on the line. I want to see how my character can die.
I gathered that when we played with Jeremy, and you just absolutely did not give a shit.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking, yes, Weird War Devils was great. I was thinking the other day,
That's
man, why did I get killed so much? I'm like the worst player. I'm just all I'm doing is getting killed constantly.
I swear.
Yeah, yes, KevCon, that was probably safe.
Well, you know what's oddly about that is that Aquaman has the color aqua in his name, but his skin is green, his scales. So figure that one out.
Yeah.
All right.
I just thought Aquaman was a cool concept, and the Green Lantern, Green Arrow. I bought Green Lantern, Green Arrow because they did in the Green Lantern Silver Age. They gave Green Arrow subtitle for like 20 issues or 30 issues or whatever the hell it was.
Oh, I loved him because he's got the trick arrows, you know, and then you've got the ring with all the weird shit you can do out of that ring.
Green Lantern was my dude because he's fearless. That's the only reason the ring chose him. He's not particularly smart. He's not particularly any of these things. He's fearless, and
he's you in Jeremy's game. Is what you're saying?
So when it's like Tarzan when you read, and I've discovered this in my literature.
Tarzan was 100% like that. 100%.
It was. Tarzan's like, I'm just killing everybody. I kill anything I do, and there's no concern for any life whatsoever in either of these two knuckleheads. But I think that's why I got sucked into it.
Yeah, probably. You need to read The Orc.
You need to read The Orc. I have not read The Orc. What is The Orc?
I don't know, but
you know, it's funny. I don't know. I vaguely know. I vaguely know the kind of continuity of Green Arrow because it goes. The guy who created not Green Arrow, Green Lantern. The guy who created Green Lantern was on. I think he was on a subway or a bus, and he had to come up because I talked to him.
Oh, really?
This is the original Green Arrow, not Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
This is going to be in the 40s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So this guy here, let me get this Green Lantern here. Now, this is an original sketch signed by what's his name, Norton or something. Nordell, who created He created the concept of Green Lantern, and he did it while he was like on the subway or on a bus or one of those elevated rails, and he saw this lantern flickering or something. It was really kind of cool, and he came up with this comic book character on his way to work. Pitched it, they went with it, and there he is. But now, interestingly, the original Green Arrow, Alan Scott. He yellow wasn't his weakness. He actually has yellow in his costume. His weakness was wood. The ring, it couldn't overcome things made of wood. But anyways, that was good. But Green Arrow, I don't know where Green Arrow comes from. I don't know anything about was he first in a Batman? I never read much Batman. Detective Comics was badass back in the day, but they turned Batman into this. I don't know. He just over the top. He went from a detective into this, tried to make him equivalent to Superman, and come on, Superman. He's Superman, right? He's gonna. Of course, they also turned Superman into this super galactic whatever. You know, you could live.
So Savage Splinter said, "A Feast Unknown ruined Tarzan for me." Are you familiar with Feast Unknown? Do you know what that is?
Feast Unknown. No, you're gonna have to. I'm sure I've read it. You're gonna have to refresh.
It's a Philip Jose farmer. I know this because I really got into him years ago. Some of his stuff I just absolutely love, but I cannot believe that Savage brought that up. So in the novel, basically, two of the main characters in there that Jose loved was Tarzan, and Doc Savage, right? And so he does this whole story where they're like brothers or half. I can't remember. Maybe they're half brothers or brothers or they're related.
Wait, Doc Savage and Tarzan are half brothers?
in this novel, but he doesn't call them that. They're just thinly veiled, right? But here's the thing about it: they can't have sex normally until they do violent acts. It's a really fucked up novel. I swear to God. I know of it. I have not read it, but I know of it, and I do not have it in my Jose Farmer collection. I don't have it in there.
The thing about Farmer was crazy. Farmer did crazy stuff. He was awful. I didn't read a lot of Farmer, but he just went.
I love some of this stuff he did, especially his post-apocalyptic future stuff was fantastic.
Yeah, he was always a bit off the wall on his stuff.
Yeah.
That's right, man. He's gone way off the rails. This is what I'll say about when you're reading Tarzan books. You got to kind of get in the mindset of Tarzan, because Tarzan in his persona is invincible. And he never, at no point, and this is what I love about him, at no point, no matter how bad things are, does Tarzan think he's going to die. Now, you might think on the one hand that this is just an affectation of whatever, but it's not. It's actually a reflection of the primeval, because at no point does that lion, even when that lion is, been hunting for 19 or 22 years or whatever it is, and he's bedraggled and he's tired and he's hungry, at no point is that lion in his mind going, you know what, this is the end for me, I'm going to quit. It doesn't. It's a lion.
I think I'm going to retire.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm getting my bones hurt. The lion doesn't think that way.
No, he just becomes prey at some point.
He becomes prey at some point, but at no point in his mind is he thinking, oh shit, I'm prey. He's just thinking, I got to kill something to eat until he dies. Until something, rips him to pieces or whatever, and he dies most violently. Or goes off and just dies quietly in a corner somewhere. And that's Tarzan. So every time, what would have been really interesting is if Burroughs had just killed Tarzan at some point. Just Tarzan's like, I can get out of this, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets killed. That would be the ultimate and perfect expression of who Tarzan was as a character. Of course, I think he's on an island when Burroughs dies. I think Tarzan's on an island and he's stuck on that island because Burroughs died. Someone may have finished that novel. I can't remember. I might be mixing that up with John Carter.
So we have someone in the chat here on YouTube, Alexander McCrory, who says, I just got a deal at a convention. 10 Castles and Crusade books and dice for $10.
That's a deal.
That is a damn good deal. I kind of want to know what you got, what kind of dice you got. I'm just curious.
Yeah, really.
My friend once impressed Stephen by putting Tarzan over Conan.
What's funny about I've been itching. That's not.
You hear that, Jeremy? Sorry, go ahead.
I've been itching to read some Conan lately, and I think it's because in this expansion book I just wrote in the Vorarlberg Basin, there's 2 caravan tracks that go over the mountains, and every time I wrote them, and then I went back in and rewrote them, and read them for edits and whatever on the third pass, and every time I'm thinking, it reminds me, and I don't know, you guys are going to have to correct me because I'm not a huge Conan reader. It reminds me of a scene where Conan is coming out of the mountains and he's the bandit chief. He's like a leader of a bandit crew and they're attacking this caravan. That might be a savage sort of Conan and not a Robert E. Howard Conan. I really don't know. But I've just been in that. I've been hankering to read some Conan because I just need a little bit of just slaughter, mindless slaughter, and maybe that happens like 40 times. Okay, that's probably what.
I mean, it sounds very believable and very common with Conan, but yeah,
right, yeah.
And at different stages in his life, up, down, up, down. I rule the world. I'm out here with my thieves. He was like that. He would get up off his throne and just walk away.
Yeah, no, Conan's a great character. He's a fantastic character. Now, I would put Tarzan above Conan in just the sheer
nice.
Impervious nature of who he is. I think Conan has some existential understanding of the world around him. Tarzan does not. And if he does, he ignores it. Tarzan is just pure jungle. He's pure primeval. Is what he is.
I just started that too, Kev, because over our last conversation last week, I went and downloaded them on Kindle so I could watch them. Oh, Alexander says black dice with logo. Oh, so you got the black and red ones, I bet. On plus a memory stick. I know what's on that memory stick, of course. And players.
Wait a minute.
Player's Handbook, Monsters and Treasures, and 4 Adventures. What?
Oh, I know. Okay. So, is it red?
No, it's a black die. It's got red on it. At least mine are.
Okay, so not orange.
No, not orange. Have you got some orange ones? I've never seen orange ones.
the original dice that we did in 2000. We printed 2000 D6s.
Yeah. I don't have one of
and they
these.
had the Troll Lord logo on them.
I've got the green, the red, or the black, or the white.
What logo do you have on yours that you purchased, Alexander?
Here's one I've got.
Is it the Castles and Crusades logo, or is it the Troll Lord Games logo?
See, that's what I have right there. He should have a CNC on his. This is what I've got. Can you see that? Can you make that out?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So if you've got the one that's got the troll that I love, that one, I'll freak out on it. If you got that, that would be badass.
Hold on, give me like 30 seconds.
Now you got me curious because you know how I am about dice. You're about to get yourself in trouble. Oh, you recommend the new Conan material by Titan Comics? Interesting. Oh, did you meet Moorcock Lando? That's pretty cool. I would like to meet him.
Okay. So this, in the year 2000, we made 2000 dice. That stopped my brain from working. And they said Troll Lord Games on them. So can you
I
see
do
that?
not. I don't have that.
So Troll Lord Games on the dice, yellow or orange pips, sorry.
Right.
And like I said, it's only 2000.
What color is that die? Is it green? Is it green?
It's black.
Okay.
It's black with Troll Lord Games on it. And if anyone has any of those out there, that would have to be pretty rare. Because we handed them out. We didn't sell them. Anyone who came up to the booth and listened to the pitch, we would give them 2 dice, I think.
Well, I'm listening right now to the pitch, and you got my address. So
so those have got to be really rare.
Let me try something real quick here. In the chat, if we had some regular dice made and put in the store, who would buy a set? Hit X if you would buy a set. Because I'm still trying. I'm on my crusade. That's probably the last crusade I have in this company, but I would do it in a heartbeat. And I'm not talking about the expensive custom ones. I'm just talking about a regular set with our logo on it.
Well, we're going to have them made in the States, which means
in 2080. Yeah, that's going to happen.
I got to hand carve all of these dice.
Well, I found somebody that's making in the United States, but it's just like recyclable plastic, which is a cool idea, but they don't look that great. I don't think you wouldn't be happy. You wouldn't be happy.
If they listen to one of my pitches, they deserve more than 2 dice.
That's hilarious.
The only time that I know, without a doubt, that someone stole from us was at Gen Con in the year 2000. Because I was standing there talking to someone, Mac and Davis behind the booth, and we had a bowl on the booth table with these dice in it, just a pile of these dice.
Sure.
And when we would talk to someone, we'd grab a couple and give them to him. Well, this kid walked up. He couldn't have been more than 10 or 12. He walked up and he stands by the bowl and he picked up some dice and then he held them up like he was talking to someone, and he's holding them up like this, and then he just runs. He just takes off running.
I bet y'all laughed your asses off about that.
We fell over laughing.
Well, in the old days, and I don't, of course, I don't get down in the vendor halls no more like I used to. But in the old days, I'd go to a con and wander around the booths and come out with a shit ton of dice. In the old days. But I don't know if people still do or not. I have no clue, but they used to. So,
here you go, Chuck. I've got 2 of them.
I know. That's all you got. That's rough, dude. That's rough.
Not many.
Well, we'll see, guys. I'm going to continue to try to convince him to let me order some like we used to. I got a guy ready to go in Georgia. They're not coming from Georgia, though, unfortunately. Coming from across the ocean. But, boy, it would be nice.
Someone emailed me about with a mold injection machine. So let me
No, don't, please. It just gives me stress when you talk about buying equipment.
No, I'm not going to buy anything.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I was terrified. I was already having a stroke over the hat press a little bit.
What the hell is that damn? Yeah, here's injection molding introduction. Yeah,
Lando, that's my friend Craig. That's who I've been trying to get stuff done with for years because he's an honest person.
Black Oak Workshop.
Yeah, you met Zip and Game Hole that year, remember? The big chunky
I don't mind making dice. I wouldn't mind having dice, but they need to be made in the United States, and that's the problem.
That is but all these other ones worked before. That's my hill I'm dying on. just to sell in the store. I don't want no fancy dice or nothing. Just he said the dice are black with orange pips, 46 percentile, 4D, 4.8, and 4D 12. Interesting.
But does it say Castles and Crusades or Troll Lord Games? My guess is yours says Castles and Crusades.
He says CNC on it. I haven't seen an orange and black of CNC either, though. That's another one I haven't seen.
I have not, Chili, nor will I.
No, Chill. He won't. He won't do it, man. He won't. That's if he goes to hell. That's what happens. He gets tied down. And they don't have they have all the different flavors of Dr. Pepper and all the fake ones, but no Dr. Pepper in a can. That's all.
So everyone out there, you think we need dice. We need some Troll Lord Games dice. What if we resurrect? Come on, man, it's good. What if we resurrect Mark Sandy's original Troll Lord Games dice?
What, chits?
No. And you've heard this. Chuck's heard the story 1,000 times. I'm sure many people on the stream have heard the story 1,000 times. But we got a letter from a prisoner years and years ago. And the guy said, hey, we're playing Castles and Crusades, but we don't have any dice. Do you have a solution for us? So Mark took a piece of paper and he folded it 20 times or 10 times or whatever. I think it's 20. And he wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 to 20. And then he put a cigarette in the center. And I got this mold around this thing around it. You put a cigarette and you flick your cigarette so that it would spin around, and when it spun around, that's what you got. So he made this guy a bunch of paper dice. So we're going to sell paper dice and cigarettes, and that'll be the official Troll dice.
Anyways. Yeah.
All right, Alexander, I know exactly which set you're talking about. It's a good set.
Yeah, I haven't seen those before. I'm curious about those. Hey, Alexander, are the percentiles diamond shaped, or are they like round, like long shaped? Because I've got some sets like that. Right.
We did a green set, a white set, and a black set. Do you have the white set, Chuck?
I have a white set, the green set, and the black set's what I've got.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have any before that. Though now I found out that there is a prison. Jesus, Savage. Oh my God. You guys are hilarious.
Jack, I'm doing that for now. It was awesome. I don't know. I do know. It's going to be in that green file cabinet out there.
Yeah.
Mark used to make all kinds of weird shit.
Oh, I can imagine back in the days, when it was, things were a lot slower, a lot different,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bored out there.
Right. I mean, you have no time for that stuff now, It's like, what? So.
It is. It's the back. I think I smoked Marlboro Reds in those days, so it was a Marlboro Red.
Tobacco cigarettes. Do you, man? For Bedford said he has all those sets. Well, look at you, Mr. Special. Good.
I really like the white set. The white set looks really good.
Yeah, and Alexander, I'm glad you found that deal. If you'll just drop your address in here to the chat. I mean, I just want to send you something in the mail. I don't need to know where you live or anything. It's not like I'm going to come take it. But, just, and let me know when you're on vacation. That's all it's really, so I'm being friendly. No, I'm joking. But that's a good find, though, man. $10 for $10. Wow, that's a really good deal.
Purple Passion.
What? Oh, Purple Passion. Oh, my God.
Oh, dude, I honestly think, that the first time I got drunk was on Purple Passion. I'm like 90% certain. I have to ask Todd.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he brought some Purple Passion in, I'm pretty sure, and I drank, he brought a 2-liter. Did it come in a 2-liter? Does that sound right? And I drank.
It came in a bottle that was kind of like a 2-liter, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chili Man, who are you?
I was there. He says I was there.
Is that Spencer?
I guess it may be. I've heard of Spencer before.
Yes, it's Spencer. How's it going, man?
There you go.
So he was there. He knows.
I didn't realize that was. Yeah.
Yes, Spencer. Man, how's it going? I hadn't seen you in a month of Sundays. That was a wild night because I got hammered.
Oh my God.
Hammered. Yeah, it would have been 1987. Spencer, does that sound right? 6? I don't know. Somewhere. It was at the Nettleton apartment. Man, this is taking me back. This goes back a long. So my apartments in those days, just so people know, and Spencer remembers, I kind of left the windows open, unlocked, and I would come home from work and people would just be sitting in the house playing D&D, watching TV. It was absolutely crazy.
That was back in the good old days. I remember those days.
Yeah.
Can't do that now. You'll come home and your shit will be gone. Anyway.
your apartment will be empty.
It'll be empty. It'll be gone. I mean, it's at least around where I live at, anyways.
Well, I'm glad you're doing good, Spencer. That's hilarious.
That is good. All right, that's right on. I've seen his name in here before, but I did not realize that that's who that was.
So he and I went to
stories.
college together.
Yeah.
So you joined the Army, I think, in the 80s somewhere. I can't remember when, Spencer. I know you went off in the Army. I went in the 90s. And he gamed with us quite a bit. He was part of the crew of D&D Nuts. 1987. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that was back in the.
That's right, Tyler. Long time ago. I will never forget the day to tell on Todd. Todd and I were living together at the time, and I was a graduate assistant, I think, or something. I can't remember. And I was grading papers till like 2 a.m. Went to bed, and something wakes me up. Some screaming wakes me up at about 4 a.m. And I look out my window, and Todd is out front. I don't know what he'd been drinking, but he was in his only his whitey tighties, his underwear, otherwise buck naked, and he was singing Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla. Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla.
Oh,
He's
my
standing
God.
up
Godzilla,
in the front,
Godzilla.
in the front yard going, Godzilla! It was so. It took me forever to get him back in the house. Todd's a pretty big guy. He's pretty stout. That shit was funny as hell.
That is, yeah, he's a big guy. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, do what you want to, boo.
Yeah, right. College was a hoot. I also remember Todd singing the Lumberjack. Oh, yeah, Todd loves that song. He can still sing that song. Todd's real good with music. Except don't play Copperhead Road. He hates, who is that, Earl? Something Earl? Copperhead Road. He hates that song. It makes him very angry.
Does it really? You know what's funny about that is that road is near where I live.
Is it really?
I shit you,
You know,
not. I shit
You know what's
not.
really funny about that? So Todd used to work in the mailroom all the time, and I have music going all the time, right?
Sure.
And Todd listens to Steve Earle. Todd never complained, not once, never. And he doesn't like old country music. He really doesn't, but he never complained until Steve Earle came on with Copperhead Road. And Todd came exploding into the office like, turn that shit off. I don't know why it made him so angry, but I turned it off. And out of respect for Todd, and that's like 15 years ago, probably longer, I have not listened to Copperhead Road. And every time it comes on, whatever I'm listening to, I turn it off because I don't want to upset Todd. That's not right. Todd told me to not listen to it, so I'm not listening to it. Still haven't heard the whole song. I don't know why Todd hates it.
That's
I used to
interesting.
like it.
I'm curious now.
He doesn't either. If you ask him, he'll say, I have no idea why I hate that song. It just makes me angry. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Are we winding down? I am also writing a fantasy novel set in a world of my own creation. I've been writing for two years and have 100. Oh, that's very good, Alexander. That's very, very cool. Keep at it, man. Just keep at it. I would just give yourself a quota every day, 1,000 words, 2,000 words, and hit it every single day. You'd be surprised how far you get. We have our Copperhead Road Ridge in our town. Lots of copperhead snakes in our park town. We got copperheads up here. That's right, Chili. Get Todd and Charlie and everybody on board. It is getting that time, though, folks. I got to go find some virtual dinner. Not virtual dinner, actual dinner. And meander out of here. And not listen to Copperhead Road. And roll my dice from the old world.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thanks.
Are we doing a wrap up today?
No, but Grace will be back, I think, tomorrow, maybe, doing her reading.
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure. I think she will be. And that's all I got. Anything you want to say, Steve? Right to it. We do have a sale on the store this week. We probably should check it out. It's a 20% off on most things on the store. I think some of the merch is different priced or not or whatever, but most of the books and stuff are all in sale. So go check it out if you want to.
Tyler, that's a good way to get abandoned somewhere on the interstate. Check the sale out. We are gearing up for Summer of Siege, which Grace is putting together. Launches on June 1st. So if you need some gear for Summer of Siege, hop over there. And if you just need some CNC gear, hop over there. I am going to return. I think I'm on this Syrian Heath now and start hammering away on that.
Right. Let me drop this in right here real quick. I got something here. So a couple things I want to remind some folks about.
Sorry for the trauma, Wolf Alone.
God bless. So the first message is, let's see. So let me put this in here.
Sweet Scottish. You do know we're still streaming, Chuck.
Yep. This is for folks to see here. Yeah. Let's see.
That's
Let's
right,
see.
Jacko Boom. For next AMA, I'm going to find that thing and I'll show you guys. It was very cool.
Oh God. Let's see.
What are you doing, Chuck?
I'm writing some message in here, but I have to take some of it and edit it because it's part of another message.
Well, everyone's saying goodbye.
Well, they can wait just a second. It's all right. Wait right there. Don't go away. All right. So Alan sent this over to me earlier. Let me send this over. This right here is for anybody who's going to be over in England on May 29th to 31st. They're going to be at the UK Games Expo, and they're going to have a ton of TLG stuff. So go check that out. All right. If you're over across the pond and so on.
Chuck, are we still live? Sorry. The good one, Kev.
And let's see what is. I'm trying to think here. I had something to say. Another announcement. I can't remember what it was now. Damn it, Steven. It was important, but I guess we'll have to wait till my stream Friday to remember because I can't remember.
There you go. It'll keep.
Oh, Tyler. So I didn't get that done today. Unfortunately, I'm working on it, but I will try to have your stuff shipped out this week from Dakota. He doesn't know this. Well, I kind of prepped him, but we'll get it out to you this week. I'm gonna try to. I'll get with you on that later. I guess I'm gonna ship it to the. I swear to God, we're gonna ship it to the convention center. I think is what we did last year, wasn't it, Tyler? I think that's what we're gonna do, right? And then you'll just pick it up from there, whatever's left. But I'll get with you on that tomorrow. All right. All right, we're gonna get out of here because I'm about to go insane for my boss. Y'all have a great night, and remember, we believe.
That's right.